law enforcement sources tell CBS News a man who was shot and killed during an FBI raid allegedly posted online death threats against President Biden. The president is set to speak tomorrow in Utah. On social media, the suspect allegedly referenced the president's visit and threatened to dig out camouflage gear and a rifle. CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe joins us now. Ed, what a story.
Yeah.
President's still going to Utah, but what happened here? What do we know?
This man, Craig Robertson, is in his 70s. He lived in Provo, Utah, which is about 45 minutes south of where the president's headed to tonight in Salt Lake City. The FBI had been tracking him for about 5 months. Back in March, he made a threat against Alvin Bragg, who is, of course, the Manhattan district attorney, on Truth Social, the platform favored and founded by former President Donald Trump, saying in part that it was his plan to go to New York and fulfill his dream of killing Bragg, waiting him out in a parking garage and then killing him. Subsequently, FBI agents in Utah were flagged this. They went to this gentleman's house, observed him later that same day. As it is described in the 39-page complaint, he was wearing a suit, a white shirt, a red tie, a lapel pin with an AR-15 style rifle, a lapel pin, and a camouflaged Donald Trump hat. They were able to track him over the next few days and then began reviewing his social media on Facebook and other platforms. And they found more than 24 examples of him making threats against the president, the vice president, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, and then Merrick Garland, of course, the Attorney General of the United States. What do those three prosecutors have in common? Of course, they're overseeing criminal and civil proceedings against the former president. The FBI went today to arrest him. There was some kind of confrontation. He's now dead. But that happened, of course, hours before the president's supposed to arrive in Utah tonight as part of this 4-day Western state swing that he's on to promote his agenda and to raise money for his reelection campaign.
I mean, this just goes to show how, these statements that have been made in the political sphere have real consequences. And people are hearing them and acting, apparently, about to act on them.
And one real quick thing that our CBS News consultant, A.T. Smith, who's a former deputy director of Secret Service, he said, it is often the case that people like this, who might have been making threats against the president, the vice president, the first lady, and live in an area where they're about to go, may be put under extra surveillance or may even be arrested because of the more recent threats made against those protectees. So he said this happens quite frequently. We don't actually hear about it that often. This one, however, given the volume of his threats made on social media and his interactions with the FBI agents who had been investigating him, warranted them moving in today, but unfortunately led to his death.
Words have consequences. Really quickly, you mentioned why the president is out there to promote this climate change agenda. He actually spoke with our partners at the Weather Channel, and I want to play a little bit of that sound.
We've conserved more land. We've we've rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. We've passed a $368 billion climate control facility. We're moving. It is the existential threat to humanity.
So you've already declared that national emergency?
Practically speaking, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so practically speaking means
he hasn't.
What?
He hasn't done it. He's faced pressure from environmental groups, from the left wing of his party, to declare a formal national emergency on climate change, which would allow him, under national emergency authority, to do a lot more things with executive authority to try to combat extreme weather. Hasn't done it under pressure from members of his own party, from Republicans who say they try to block it. And of course, if Republicans are trying to block it, there's a chance a handful of moderate Democrats in the House and the Senate would join them in doing so, and it would create more of a political problem. So he says they practically have done so through a myriad of things that he's enacted or he's approved. The Inflation Reduction Act, of course, includes a lot of money to deal with climate change, but it is not the national emergency that the left wing of his party is pushing for. Ruben Gallego, for example, who's running for the U.S. Senate in Arizona, where he did that interview, is among those pushing him to do this, saying it's absolutely necessary. His state, of course, seeing record heat this summer. Why wouldn't he push to do that? The president, though, to our friend Stephanie Abrams at the Weather Channel, trying to make it seem as if he's done it, but he hasn't. The White House not happy that this has become the focus of the trip. That also included conversation about the other economic legislation passed, and then tomorrow a veterans bill that was passed a year ago this week.
And that pressure for the left flank, you need that enthusiasm for your reelection bid. Ed O'Keefe, thank you very much for covering all of that ground for us.